At this cry, the whole ship's crew hurried towards the harpooner. Commander, officers, masters, sailors, cabin boys, even the engineers left their engines, and the stokers their furnaces. The order to stop her had been given, and the frigate now simply went on by her own momentum. The darkness was then profound, and however good the Canadian's eyes were, I asked myself how he had managed to see, and what he had been able to see. My heart beat as if it would break. But Ned Land was not mistaken, and we all perceived the object he pointed to. At 2 cables' length from the Abraham Lincoln, on the starboard quarter, the sea seemed to be illuminated all over. It was not a mere phosphoric phenomenon. The monster emerged some fathoms from the water, and then threw out that very intense but inexplicable light mentioned in the report of several captains. Alice was beginning to get very tired of sitting by her sister on the bank, and of having nothing to do. Once or twice she had peeped into the book her sister was reading, but it had no pictures or conversations in it. "And what is the use of a book," thought Alice, "without pictures or conversations?" So she was considering in her own mind, as well as she could, for the hot day made her feel very sleepy and stupid, whether the pleasure of making a daisy chain would be worth the trouble of getting up and picking the daisies, when suddenly a white rabbit with pink eyes ran close by her. There was nothing so very remarkable in that, nor did Alice think it was so very out of the way to hear the rabbit say to itself, oh dear, I shall be late." "It is a conspiracy, then?" asked Dante, who, after believing himself free, now began to feel a tenfold alarm. "I have, however, already told you, sir. I was entirely ignorant of the contents of the letter." "Yes, but you knew the name of the person to whom it was addressed," said Villefort. "I was forced to read the address to know to whom to give it." "Have you shown this letter to anyone?" asked Villefort, becoming still more pale. "To no one. On my honor." "Everybody is ignorant that you are the bearer of a letter from the island of Elba and addressed to Monsieur Noirtier." "Everybody except the person who gave it to me." "And that was too much, far too much," murmured Villefort. Villefort's brow darkened more and more. His white lips and clenched teeth filled Dante with apprehension. After reading the letter, Villefort covered his face with his hands. "Oh," said Dante timidly. "What is the matter?"
"Jim," he said at length, "you saw that seafaring man today."
"Black Dog?" I asked.
"Ah, Black Dog," says he. "He's a bad un, but there's worse that put him on. Now if I can't get away nohow, and they tip me the black spot, mind you, it's my old sea chest they're after. You get on a horse, you can, can't you? Well then, you get on a horse and go to, well, yes, I will, to that eternal Dr. Swab and tell him to pipe all hands, magistrates and sich, and he'll lay 'em aboard at the Admiral Benbow, all on him that's left. I was first mate. I was old Flint's first mate, and I'm the only one as knows the place. He gave it me at Savannah when he lay a-dying, like as if I was to now, you see. But you won't peach unless they get the black spot on me, or unless you see that Black Dog again, or a seafaring man with one leg, Jim. Him above all."
"But what is the black spot, Captain?" I asked.
"That's a summons, mate. I'll tell you if they get that. But you keep your weather eye open, Jim, and I'll share with you equals upon my honor."
"Speak you to the daughters of air," was the answer. "The mermaid has no immortal soul, and can only acquire the heavenly gift by winning the love of one of the sons of men. Her immortality depends upon union with man. Neither do the daughters of air possess immortal souls, but they can acquire them by their own good deeds. We fly to hot countries, where the children of earth are sinking under sultry breezes. A fresh, cooling breath revives them. By doing good in this manner for 300 years, we win immortality, and receive a share of the eternal bliss of human beings. And thou, poor little mermaid, who following the impulse of thine own heart, hast done and suffered so much, thou art now raised to the airy world of spirits, that by performing deeds of kindness for 300 years, thou mayest acquire an immortal soul. The little mermaid stretched out her transparent arms to the sun, and for the first time in her life, tears moistened her eyes. And now again, all were awake and rejoicing in the ship. She saw the prince with his pretty bride. They had missed her. They looked sorrowfully down on the foamy waters as if they knew she had plunged into the sea. Unseen, she kissed the bridegroom's forehead, smiled upon him, and then with the rest of the children of air, soared high above the rosy cloud which was sailing so peacefully over the ship.